Hi, once again, welcome to the Karate Training Centers. I'm Coach Marty Martin and I'm here with John Johnson. We're sharing the information from Kenpo Set Karate with you. And if you've been watching my tapes, you have seen the technique already called striking ki, and that was a self-defense technique against the side shoulder grab. What I want to do in this particular section is I want to show you the versatility of Kenpo Set Karate and the versatility of Kenpo Karate. When you're learning the various techniques, you learn a whole bunch of techniques before you actually get promoted. In American Kenpo, that's called the web of knowledge. A little bit different in Kenpo Set Karate in that we have our techniques lined up in sets. And we work in this particular area in what we refer to as the grab arts and the way that people grab you. But each technique has parts. It has the beginning, it has a middle, and it kind of has an ending, and that's how we finish the technique. Well, what I want for you to understand is that we can move from the middle of one technique to the middle of another technique, or we can take a part of one technique and mix it with the end of another technique. And those things allow us a flexibility and a degree of spontaneity in self-defense. So that's what we're going to work on a little bit here in this technique, and that is, what are some variables from other techniques we have in Kenpo Set Karate that are going to lend themselves to be more spontaneous in your technique response given whatever situation you find yourself in? So John Eddie is going to grab me in a side shoulder grab. Now let's revisit striking ki. It's a side shoulder grab punch combination. Remember, we're going to pin the hand, we're going to get our jiu-jitsu twist in there, ki strike to the ulnar nerve, ki strike here. From that position, roll off, get our hyperextension, and then work our kicking combinations. That's just a brief recap. Now, let's talk about some variables. We have a technique called ki to the sword. Starts off the same way. Again, it's against that shoulder grab punch combination, but it has different variables. In this case, I start off the same. I pinch, I get my lock, I do my ki strike, I do my ki strike. However, this time I want to come around, and instead of hyperextension, I'm going to come this way and break the arm. Then I'm going to come with the smother block clearing down from here and then strike into the throat area. So notice that my setup is the same, but my follow-up is different. So that's called ki to the sword. And what am I doing in this technique? Not only am I working depth zones here, but I'm also working the arm in a different way. I'm working a hyperextension, I'm working a clearing action. When I do this clearing move, when I come here, I'm opening this up, I'm controlling the body. So that makes this technique a little bit different. So that gives us another way to approach the self-defense technique aspect of that shoulder grab and a punch from the side. All right, now, Kenpo Set Karate, releasing the eagle. Here's another thing that we can do. In this situation, we want to throw the opponent down. So they grab us, we start off the same, we come from that lock, ki strike, ki strike. This time we do a spreading wings release, and from that position we're going to fire that arm up behind there, come in a hip-to-hip check, come from this position. I'm going to either grab the gi, grab here, grab the opponent's arm, and look where I am. I'm in the position for a judo throw, or a hip toss from this position. So I'm able to maneuver in the body of another technique, in this case releasing the eagle, to set up my opponent. And that's one of the things that gives Kenpo Karate power, is to be able to see and utilize various pieces of other techniques. Alright, so here's releasing the eagle. For whatever reasons, I need to throw the opponent this time. So I go through my initial setup. When I come off my spreading wings release, I come in here and I'm ready for my hip toss. Okay? Alright, now, another variation, eagle's grasp. Let's say that this time, instead of doing a hip toss, I want to do a sweep or a takedown from the back. Technique's going to start the same. I'm going to come with here, ki strike, ki strike. This time, when I come off of my clearing motion here, as I rake down, I'm going to continue through with the Chinese swing, come back with my chop, and this time turn away from my opponent, drop down on my knee, and establish my sweep from the back. So now I've approached the takedown, the third part of the technique, a little bit differently. I'm still in the technique, the core technique, striking key, but I'm using a variable out of another technique in our set called Eagle's Grasp. Visiting that one more time, I come from here, key strike, key strike. When I come off of this position right here, I circle right into my Chinese swing, into the chop, bang, and into the sweep. All right, so again, it offers me another variable. So what have we done? We've taken the core technique, striking key. We showed you how you can take pieces of other techniques and use them and be spontaneous towards the response that you need given whatever self-defense situation that you find yourself in. It's much more realistic to approach self-defense that way than it is to say, well, I'm confined to the core of a technique. Because if you are, you're not going to be as successful in moving from one thing to another in any kind of a self-defense technique situation that you find yourself in.